Welcome viewer, computer class with Pradyumna Singh. We have been dealing on computer networks. In last 4 videos I have dealt that. It is actually based on CBSE syllabus of 2021. Now I am going to deal with part 5, and the topic that we are going to discuss today is the network devices. Which all devices are used on a network? Majorly we are going to discuss all of them. Let's see what comes first. It is modem, means modulator, demodulator. We know that for internet connection we essentially require this device to be installed onto the system. What are they used for? Just to transfer the data from one computer network to another computer network via telephone lines. I quoted via telephone lines, and you know that in telephone lines the messages are carried out using analog technology, and the computer entertains the data in digital technology. So definitely we require a device which can make this communication feasible between two computers, and the carrying mode is analog, but the receiver and transmitting data in digital form. So we require a device like modem. What role of the modem is? To receive data from transmitting computers, that one in computer, and the data received in digital forms to be converted into analog form and then transfers through phone lines, and at the other end again the data will be received by modem as a modulator, okay, and converting those analog data into digital data, then supplying to the computer for entertaining it. So that way what did we understand? That its work is to convert information from digital mode to analog mode at the transmitting end, and demodulator works vice versa at receiving end, that is analog mode to digital mode. And this entire process is referred to as digitizing, because ultimately the data are converted into digital format. That's why it is called as digitizing. Faster modems are utilized by internet customers day by day, notably cable and ADCL asymmetric digital subscriber line modems. There are 3 kinds actually. Modems are of 3 kinds. Internal modem, which is already inbuilt on the motherboard of a computer, like this. Earlier it is used to purchase as a separate device from the market and advertised on the motherboard, but nowadays it comes automatically built. So it is a circuit board actually that may be added to the system, and right now, as I told, that it is already added to the motherboard. This architecture is already added on the motherboard, so no need to attach this device separately to the computer system nowadays. But earlier it used to come in this form and as a separate device to be connected to the computers on the motherboard, and you see that it takes one or many growth slots. External modem, as we know that this is the modem separated from the system unit within the laptop case, and it is linked to the serial port of the PC by way of cable, and is linked to the phone call jack by one other cable. You see it looks like this. An USB modem, just like a pen drive, a modem that plugs into the USB port of a computer, and it often refers to a 3G or 4G cellular modem, but it may also refer to an analog dial-up modem. It looks like this. Next is the twisted pair or Ethernet connector, which is also known as RJ45 registered jack 45. Is an 8-wire connector which is commonly used to connect computers on the LANs using Ethernet or twisted pair cable. Means it is used generally with twisted pair cable, and it looks very much similar to the standard telephone connector you must have seen when the phone telephone is connected through a phone, pair of wires, for 3 pairs of wires. It looks like that, but it is RJ45, and there in phones we use the jack as RJ11. Now next is the Ethernet cards, or it is also known as network interface unit or network cards. What happens, this kind of card earlier again is used as a separate device to make a node on a server. Generally any PC can be converted into a node by utilizing this card or by attaching this card out to the system, but now again it is come inbuilt on the motherboard. You need not attach an extra device to connect two computers on a network. It can automatically is designed on a motherboard. So see that it is used in a star or burst topology and can transfer data up to 1000 Mbps. Fast Ethernet standards are also available now that offer speeds up to 1 Gbps, and these cards contain connections for either coaxial or twisted pair both. Earlier we used to have these kind of things. Nowadays we will have to look for, if we go for coaxial cable. Otherwise it comes usually for twisted pair cables in the market. If it is designed for coaxial cable, the connection will be BNC connector. As you see that at the bottom, you see that it is a BNC connector. If it is designed for twisted pair, it will have a RJ45. You see that next one is the RJ45 connector. Some Ethernet cards also contain an AUI connector, and this can also be used to attach coaxial, twisted pair or fiber optics cable to an Ethernet card. That means AUI is used for fiber optic. Now next device that we are going to discuss is the router. Router, as you know that to route something, you know that on a network like internet, wherein it's a collection of networks, okay. So wherein the informations are brought from one network to another network in the form of packets, data packets between just like and what is the role of the router is just to transfer those data packets to the destination nicely. They play a very vital role. So just like a policeman on the crossings, you see that traffic police on the crossings who routes the public from one side, one direction to another direction, depending on where is to which side the traffic is to be routed to. So that way it also works. Okay, if you see the entire functioning of a router like that, it is connected to two or more data lines from different IP networks. When a data packet comes in one of the lines, the router reads the network address information in the packet header. You know that each data packet contains the IP address to which, like the address on which it has to reach or it has to be sent. Okay, it reads those address and determines the ultimate destination, that to which route the data needs to be transferred. Then using information in its routing table or routing policy, whatever policy, there are some router table in which it has got some path noted to which direction which IP addresses or data are to be sent out. So according to routing policy or routing table, it directs the packet to the next network to its journey. Now you see the picture. That picture will tell you very nicely how the router works. It is one network, it is the router, the another network, and the router's work is to send the data. Say data came from A computer, okay, came to router, now it has to go to C, that way it transfers the data to D computer. And if suppose data comes from B, has to go to C again through router, the router receives this information of B and reads the IP address of C and then routed the data to C computer. And this way this is the picture of a router that you see at the bottom, okay, and maybe some other routers are used. Next is the switch. Another way is a device that is used to break a network into different sub-networks called subnet or LAN segments. It prevents traffic overloading onto the network, hence they speed things up. So that means while in a local area network from one computer to another computer, when data are to be sent, they are sent by either switch or hub. Right now we are discussing about switch. So what they do, they allow different nodes of a network to communicate directly with one another in a smooth and efficient manner. As I told you, two computers can communicate nicely by using either switch or hub. So here since I am discussing about switch, so switch does the same thing. Two different nodes on a network can communicate directly with one another. So it works as a concentrator in between, which makes communication possible between two computers on a local area networks. Switches are similar to network hubs, as I told you, but it has more intelligence than hub and expensive as compared to hub. Unlike hubs, network switches are capable of inspecting data packets as they are received, determining the source and destination device of each packet and forwarding them appropriately. Most switches are active, that means they come in two forms, active and passive. That is, they electrically amplify the signal as it moves from one device to another, means they automatically amplify the weaker signals and they strengthen them and then pass it to another computer. Okay. Switches are usually configured with either 8 ports or 12 ports, 24 ports or 48 RJ45 ports. Mainstream Ethernet network switches support either 10 to 1000 Mbps fast Ethernet or gigabit Ethernet, either 10, 100 or 1000 standards. Next we are going to discuss about hub. As I told you that either switch or hub can be used. Switch is a smarter than hub in the sense that it concentrates, it divides, I'll tell you further. The network device that provides a central connection point for cables from workstation, server and other peripheral. Again, it is used for LAN. When two nodes need to communicate, they require hub, right? Basically, hubs are multi-slot connectors into which a number of multi-port cards can be plugged to provide additional access as the network grows in size. Again, these are two types, active and passive hub. As I told you earlier, in switch case also, switch always comes in active mode. Okay. Here hub is used to connect generally 8, 16, 24 or 32 connections to a server or another active hub. Printer can also be connected through it. It basically amplifies signal as it moves from one connected device to another and act as a repeater to extend length of the network. And passive hub, actually it works as active hub but without amplification. The data cannot be amplified using passive hub. What problems that we observe in hub is that it shares its bandwidth among all attached computers, therefore cannot filter traffic. You must be thinking about suppose a data needs to be transferred from one computer to another. If it passes through switch puts its entire strength to that particular data and get it transmitted from that device to another device. Okay, one computer to another computer. But when time comes to hub, if more requests of data comes on a network, it divides its strength into those jobs, those data, and then get them transferred from one to another. So it takes time. Since it divides its time and take to multiple nodes on a network, so cannot work faster as compared to switch, wherein switch concentrates its own strength or complete strength to one set of data and gets the transmission done. Next is the video that will tell you the function of router, switch and hub. Just have a look. The video source is from
Hello everyone. In this video we're going to talk about the difference between a hub, a switch and a router. Now all three of these devices are similar, but there is a difference in the way they handle data. So we'll first talk about a hub. Now the purpose of a hub is to connect all of your network devices together on an internal network. It's a device that has multiple ports that accepts Ethernet connections from network devices. Now a hub is considered not to be intelligent because it does not filter any data or has any intelligence as to where the data is supposed to be sent. And that's because the only thing a hub knows is when a device is connected to one of its ports. So when a data packet arrives at one of the ports, it is copied to all of the other ports. So all the devices on that hub sees that data packet. So again, a data packet comes into one port, then the hub will just rebroadcast that data to every port that has a device connected to it. So even if this computer here only wanted to communicate with this computer over here, these other computers would still receive the data even though the data was not intended for them. So when this happens, it not only creates security concerns, but it also creates unnecessary traffic on the network, which wastes bandwidth. Now, a switch is very similar to a hub. It's also a device that has multiple ports that accepts Ethernet connections from network devices. But unlike a hub, a switch is intelligent. A switch can actually learn the physical addresses of the devices that are connected to it, and it stores these physical addresses, called MAC addresses, in its table. So when a data packet is sent to a switch, it's only directed to the intended destination port, unlike a hub, where a hub would just rebroadcast the data to every port. So as an example, if this computer here wanted to communicate with this computer over here, the data packet arrives at the switch, and then the switch will look at its table of MAC addresses and matching ports and deliver the data to the correct port. And then the data packet would only go to that computer. So that's the major difference between a hub and a switch. So as a result, switches are far more preferred over hubs because they reduce any unnecessary traffic on the network. So as a review, a hub only detects that a device is physically connected to it, and a switch can detect specific devices that are connected to it because it keeps a record of the MAC addresses of those devices. Now, hubs and switches are used to exchange data within a local area network. For example, such as in your home network or in a business. They are not used to exchange data outside their own network, such as out on the internet. Because to exchange or route data outside their own network to another network, such as out on the internet, a device needs to be able to read IP addresses. And hubs and switches do not read IP addresses. So that's where the router comes in. Now, a router does exactly what its name implies. A router is a device that routes or forwards data from one network to another based on their IP address. When a data packet is received from the router inspects the data's IP address and determines if the packet was meant for its own network or if it's meant for another network. If the router determines that the data packet is meant for its own network, it receives it. But if it's not meant for its own network, it sends it off to another network. So a router is essentially the gateway of a network. So here we have a private network with its router, and we'll refer to this as the red network, indicated by the red colored screens on the computers. And over here you're going to have different data packets, indicated by their different colors, which represents different IP addresses, and they are going to be entering the red network's router from the internet. Now the router is only going to accept the red data packets because they are the only ones that are intended for this network. So all of the other data packets, the yellows, blues, greens, etc., will be rejected by this router because they were not intended for this network because their IP addresses were not meant for this network. Now here is an expanded view of routers over the internet. There are 4 networks here, indicated by their different colors, and each network has their own router, along with their hubs or switches and their computers. So right now, as you can see, each network is just exchanging information within their own network. Their data is not going out on the internet, so they are not communicating with other networks. They are just exchanging data within their own network using their hub or switch. Now let's go ahead and exchange data between different networks. So let's say, for example, that this computer here on the red network wants to communicate with a computer here on the blue network. So for this to happen, the data packet has to leave their own network and go out on the internet. So the computer sends their data, and it goes to the network's router. And once the data packet reaches the router will look at the IP address of the data packet and then forward the data out on the internet to the next router. and then make its way to the Blue Network's router, and then to the intended destination computer. So in a nutshell, this is how routers work. So in conclusion, hubs and switches are used to create networks, while routers are used to connect networks.
Okay, now must have seen that animation through which you must have understood the working of hub and the switch and a router. Now let's talk about repeater. Again, it is a small device that receives a signal, amplifies it, and then transmits it onto the network so that the signal can cover longer distances. You must be aware about when the data transfers through any of the cables. After some certain distance, the signals in the cable becomes weak. Okay, how to regenerate the signal? So these devices are used, the repeaters and amplifiers. They regenerate the incoming electrical, wireless or optical signals, and which gets weaker with the distance it travels due to energy dissipated in conductor resistance and dielectrics. So it is of two kinds. You see that it amplifier. First is the amplifier. Amplifier is both signal and concurrent noise. As signal repeated, collects the inbound packets and then transmits the packet as if it were starting from the source station. Okay. So generally we see the repeaters and amplifiers picture. So you know that repeaters can be placed after every 100 meters. So we can generally start from 70 meters or more, we can place a repeater. But standard size is 100 meter between in the wire. After 100 meter, each 100 meter the repeater or amplifier must be placed. Now the gateway, as earlier we while discussing router, it was quoted the gateway. What is it? Again, a device that establishes an intelligent connection between a local area network and the external networks with completely different structures. That means it connects two dissimilar networks, either LAN to WAN, MAN to LAN, MAN to WAN, likewise. In simple terms, it is a node on a network that serves as an entrance to other network, just like a gate to other network. All networks data come to this particular gateway and then routed to its proper destination through this gateway computer. A network gateway can be implemented completely in software or completely in hardware or as a combination of both. So a gateway is often associated with both as a router which knows where to direct the given packet of data that arrives at the gateway, and a switch which furnishes the actual path in and out of the gateway for the given packet. That means it requires a switch. Okay, before switch the router works. Router decides the data to which switch should it go, and then switch transfer the data to its network. So actual path is actually in and out of gateway for a given packet is furnished by a switch, and it expands the functionality of the router by performing data translation and protocol conversion. Now you can see the picture. That picture will tell you nicely. This is the gateway computer center, you see, and here only the things the data comes and it decides to which network the data goes. See, it is a WAN, it is a local area network, and that way through gateway the data communication are established. So do different types of protocols, here WAN, here LAN, and the communication is made possible through gateway computer. Now let's talk about Wi-Fi cards. They are small and portable cards that allow our desktop or laptop computer to connect to the internet through a wireless network. That means wireless fidelity card, if we have on our computer, we can wirelessly make two computers communicated. The antenna transmits the radio signals, and these signals are picked up by Wi-Fi receivers, either computers or cell phone, within the Wi-Fi range equipped with Wi-Fi cards, and the Wi-Fi card then reads the signals and produces a wireless internet connection. Of Wi-Fi cards can be external or internal. As you know that inside a computer also we can have a Wi-Fi. If we have a Wi-Fi dongle, we can do it there. Otherwise we have the Wi-Fi routers available in the market. through which the internet or say Ticona, any kind of broadband connection, if we go and through if we route through Wi-Fi cards, it is easily done. Now this is all for today. Next time we'll discuss about another topics. By then, goodbye from our side, and if you like the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.